Welcome to Matt Bajerski YouTube channel. Today is going to be a very controversial topic, hopefully an interesting one, and one which might put some people at ease in the frustration that we're in right now with the world and the kind of stage show that we're living in right now. I was actually going to write a book about this, and I've got probably pages and pages and pages written, and to put it all together probably would take me about 2 months. But I just felt the desire, the need, I don't know what it is within me that wants to share about this. However, this could cause my YouTube channel to fall and go bust. So I'm pulling, so many people say don't, and just keep it sweet, keep it lovely, keep it. But maybe I can do like all of these other guys do, like the JPs and all that, say things and we all know what it means, but you can't knock him off the channel because he's not actually saying it. So maybe I should be smart and try that way, or maybe they're all, who knows what they are. Why is it that I'm shadow banned on nearly everything? Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? Okay, this is a phenomenon that I have known since I started this work 2 decades ago. So I started learning from some amazing people about how to heal, and that's another subject. The subject that I'm talking about is the subject of when I got into the real depth of and real true understanding of healing and how to heal. Many people were coming to me for specific reasons that were all very, very similar, eerily scary, really bizarre. And that happened at a certain point in my healing practice. And it was almost like the universe was pulling people to me. You'll understand that if you're a healer. Certain times the same thing keeps coming back. And it was a very interesting phenomenon. I started to write down a lot of the things that were going on at that time, which eventually I realized that you can't really write things down and make sense of it because it's all so grey in so many areas. Everyone is very different, but there is an apparent pattern to what I'm going to talk about today. So what am I talking about? Well, there's names for it, and I've named names for it. I'll give you some names and it might spring to mind what I'm talking about. Attachments, psychic attacks. Some I name the takeover, the takeovers, the lost ones. So these names that I conjured up because that's how it felt, and through the process of bringing them back to somewhat reality. So what is this phenomena that I'm talking about? Well, in simple terms, a client would come to me and they would be in another I couldn't say dimension, but another reality. That's as close to how I could put it. So it's a glazed look. Some would have huge fear, some would have huge ego, and some would be just completely Bolivian, just lost, completely lost. So I'll give you an example. Somebody would bring somebody up, whether it's 1 or 2 people would bring a certain person up the stairs to my healing room, and they would leave them and they would go, and this person would be almost like a host to something that's happening within them. So it's a takeover, it's a hijack. And this is a real phenomena, and it happens often. Just because they go to a healer doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who are in that same energy. So I guess you're asking what kind of level is this deception on, this hijack on? it comes in different forms and different energetic fields. So sometimes you can feel a very heavy energy, very heavy, and sometimes you can feel a very dark energy. Sometimes you can feel a very strange energy, bizarre energy about this person. But ultimately, they are lost ones. They are the hijacked, they are the ones who have been taken over. So what does one do when they're in that particular circumstance, when you're in that position, when you have a client who walks up the door who is not there but functioning in a way that we would not perceive normal? What is normal anyway? But something is off, there is a disconnect, there is something that cannot be explained. So let me explain that within the 3 years of doing this work, and it was predominantly 3 years, after the 4th year of doing my full-time healing work, that's when it really predominantly started. And within those 3 years, I had hundreds of people who came with this phenomena. Not many people talk about it because it's embarrassing once it's gone. It's happened to me over 3 times. And it can take over if you're not aware of it, and you can do things that you don't know why you did it. There are times that we can see this in the world where somebody says, I did something and I don't know what took over me. I don't know what came over me. I don't know what just happened there. Some people would talk about hearing voices. Some people, there's all sorts of different absolute patterns that many people talk about, which are very eerily similar. It's like, oh, this is strange. So I'm going to talk to you about it in depth today, but it's so important for me to talk to you about how it all began and how I saw it, and what I believe it is in my own interpretation. I could be completely wrong, but it's in my interpretation as a healer. So the first thing I did is I sat the client down and I took my tools and started working, and I placed their hands on the table. Sometimes I couldn't do that because they were in rage. Sometimes I couldn't do that because they were screaming, saying something's inside them, depending on what kind of level they were on under this kind of host hive mentality. It was just bizarre. So my first client was, if I recall, a lady from Spain with long dark hair. She was, I believe, a host of a TV show at one time, and I think she was also a singer when she was younger. That's as much as I remember about the lady. But she came to me with a glaze look. There was like, it was like, okay, that something is very wrong. I placed my hand over the client and I started to feel the energy within them. Basically what we try and feel is their heart, their soul, what's going on, what's the past, present and future, which is all one. And we try and get a picture of what's going on. However, when you deal with people who are the lost ones, it's very, very challenging to actually focus on past, present and future. It's very challenging to focus on focus on any kind of trauma and disturbance of that energetic field, that memory within them. So then you have to go to a different kind of place. It's a different energetic field you're attuning to. And then you realize that this is something that is not who they are. It's not their past, it's not their present, it's not their future. So it's not within that energetic field. And then you find out it's not their spirit, it's not their liver, kidneys, it's not their bodily functions. It's something very separate and feels very, very different in an energetic field. And then what we try and do is attune to that energy. So I'm going to give you some ideas, some thoughts and feelings of what I attuned to when I was attuning to this entity, which is not of, I believe, this world. It is not a spirit per se, as you and I would move into the light. It's something completely different. So there are no words in the dictionary that would be able to express what I'm trying to express. This is why it's challenging. And it's done deliberately. The reason why the English dictionary is so limited in words is because it doesn't want you to stretch beyond the truth. So it wants to keep you very low in vibration. So it gives you words that will only limit you. Let's just say if I was to close my eyes and place my hands again over this lady's hands and feel her energy, I am not feeling the person that I would normally feel. I am feeling something completely unusual, something different, something very worrying, something very powerful, something very dark, and I would suggest it would be on the energy of satanic energy. It's very manipulating. It's the kind of snake trying to tempt you with an apple. It is something that is trying its best to manipulate you to say and do things, even though okay, I'll get there. So I open my eyes and feel this person. There's nothing to be felt, only the energetic field of this very dark energy. So now I'm trying to talk to this person. First of all, I try to communicate to the person that I'm sat with. So I ask them what their name is, and they tell me their name. I ask them a few questions, and they quite easily answer those questions. But then when you start to tap in and ask them things that are a little bit more deeper, meaning who are you and who is within you at this moment and who is influencing you, then it becomes hostile. Then it becomes a glaze again, almost like the person doesn't know what you're saying, what you're talking about. And sometimes it can get very aggressive. This particular lady just became glazed as if I wasn't even speaking. So it was almost like she was being influenced not to communicate when asked certain questions. And there was a reason why. Because the darkness within her, the influencer within her, knows that if they say something that may trigger their spirit, their soul, then they wake up. So I realized after dealing with these people that there is a possibility that you can help them awaken from what I could only call a type of dark hypnosis that is being manipulated by something that is within that person. So over the years, as this was happening on different levels, I came to a point where I realized the only true way of helping these people was definitely not by communication. Actually, it was a waste of energy and time, because even if you do trigger the soul, the soul within that person, who is that person, because remember, the body that you have is only a spacesuit. The spirit that resides within you is who you truly are. So when you as a healer can get through with what I call key words, which are certain wake-up moments, then they go back into that hypnosis from the darkness that is within them, which manipulates and covers them and basically tells them what to say and do. And you'll find that they actually believe what they say and do as if it was gospel. So until, of course, you bring them out of that hypnosis. So over the years, I found that by trying different methods, keywords worked, but only for a short time. So they go back into that energy. So the reason why I say this is because that lady that I talked about at the beginning, I gave her a full reading. She woke up and then she started crying for about 15 minutes. She thanked me and left. And then about 3, 4, 5 weeks later, she came back, same issue again. And I realized quickly that words are not enough. It's good, but it's not enough. So I got to the stage where I realized that It is far greater to lie a client down in these situations and give them what's called a healing session. Basically, what that means is that you channel certain energies that clear away what I believe is the entity or the darkness or whatever the manipulating energy is. Now, please don't get confused from things like the government dark ops like MK Ultra. This is slightly different, and there is a strong possibility that sometimes there are connections within that, but this is slightly different. This is something that is resides within a person. So it's not something that comes and goes. It's within them all the time. So it's almost like it's apparent to see when family members would say, I would say, when did this happen? Well, it was a process and it got worse and worse, which means that whatever was within them or on them or around them was influencing them to a degree that they lost control of their own spirit. So they basically became hosts of a dark parasite. Per se, not a parasite as we know as parasites, but of entities which are of this world, of around this world, of not part of the world, but they've hijacked the world for certain reasons. It sounds all bizarre, it sounds crazy, but if you were to spend a year with me healing and this phenomena happens, then you'll say, actually, there's some truth in this. The guy's right, I've seen it. So then you've got the other side of this coin where certain people come because they've been hijacked by entities that are very, very, very painful in an emotional way. So what you find is my clients came in a deep state of panic, and that panic is like they'd just seen something that was so scary, and they're out of control. They've lost control of everything. They're in a panic because they have no control of who they are, and they know there's something wrong, but they don't know how to shake it off. So these are slightly different, and the reason why they're slightly different is because they are aware that there is something within them that is causing them great harm. Now, these people are normally stronger in empathy. They're stronger in spiritual awareness. They're just more aware. Whereas the ones that I talk about prior, the ones who are the TV hosts and those who are like politicians, they are easily led, void of awareness, void, very much so, not completely, but void of love, compassion. They're in this different energetic frequency than the ones I'm talking about now. These ones I'm talking about are in deep fear because they know what's taken over them and what's trying to take over them. Now, you can call that a psychic attack. There are other words that have been used in the past, but let's just say that you are not in control, but you know there's something very wrong with yourself. So I found it was far easier to just go, shh, say nothing, lie them down, and then give them what's called a healing session by way of sending a great energetic energy into them that clears away that particular attachment. Is it easy to clear? Yes, it is. It takes about an hour to 2 hours, depending on how bad and how strong that energy is. But it's a lot easier than the first one I talk about, because the first one I talk about is basically intertwined so tightly that it's a bit like a group of men hijacking or kidnapping a woman, brainwashing her for them to her love the kidnappers. They become so intertwined that it's almost impossible to break that free, because they believe that they are anyway. So you kind of get what I mean. Have I ever dealt with people who have been kidnapped that way? Yes, spiritually speaking, I have. What does that mean? Well, these people who believed that their guru, their guide, their mentor was filled with love and kindness and joy, and they believed that much that they became um, almost brainwashed, which it isn't brainwashed, but it's kind of a hypnosis to then give everything you have to that person. I may have shared one or two stories about these people who were about to give all their wealth away to these so-called spiritual people. They're not. They're extremely clever in way of hypnosis, in way of certain keywords they use to bring that person into this kind of hypnosis. So I many a times help people out of that, to snap out of that. That's a different energetic field. That's a different energy. Again, so there's so many forms of this manipulation. The one I'm talking about is the ones that you see on the screen, who are saying things that you're stood there and today you're watching it right now. It's more evident now than ever before, and this is, I believe, the hijack of the world and many people in high places that have been taken over. They're the lost ones now. They're, the lost ones. That's what they are. And you may scratch your head sat there thinking, this is crazy. Did you hear what they just said? They actually believe in what they're saying, but what they're saying is completely the reason why we're saying this is all wrong. And the reason why is because they're now saying things, what they're being forced to say from the entity within them, the darkness that surrounds them. And they're believing what they're saying to try and change humanity in believing pure and utter evil, what's being said. And hang on a minute, did you just hear what she just said? Did she just say that and is nobody listening to this? Did you see what she just said? Do you understand? Well, I've been in the company of thousands of people who have been like this over the years. Maybe exaggeration, maybe hundreds and hundreds. And it happens on a daily basis. So I'm used to this energy. So we go, how can't they see? And we say, look at what they're saying. How can they say that? Because they've been taken over and they've been hijacked, and they believe what they're saying because they're in a deep trance hypnosis. They've been taken over. They're hosts of a negative entity that lies within them. So pure energy healing is extremely important. These people need healing. These people are not themselves. They are not humans anymore. They are automatons. They are robots. Their spirit has been hijacked, pushed into a corner of their body, and something has taken over them. So this is where we are right now. It's a phenomena that's been going on for years. And I say a lot of people who are in prison, if they're asked, why did you do it? They'll say, I don't know. It's something came over me. I was just taken over. Why did you just say that? I don't know. Because they're influenced by a dark force. And they are called the lost ones. So, yeah. I make this video to help people understand why certain people on high profiles, why certain hosts, why certain TV stars, celebrities, why do they say certain things that make no sense? I hope that what I've just tried to explain to you in this half-an-hour video might give you an understanding of why insanity is spoken as if it sounds like truth to them, as if they're saying things that they really mean with their whole heart and they really believe what they're saying, is because they have been taken over. They are hijacked. They are definitely the lost ones, and there are many of them right now. So you have to be aware of this, and this phenomenon needs to now be brought out into the public arena. We now need to tell people about them. So whether we name them, label them, I don't particularly like that, but I think we're going to have to start to acknowledge that these people are no longer who they are. They have been taken over by some entity, some darkness that is weaving its way in the whole of these people in statuses and celebrity platforms, on the MSM, on the political arena. These people are now becoming more heightened to this darkness. It feels like it's becoming far more evident that this is happening to many people, and they're just changing from one thing to another, and people are trying to make sense of it and they're not able to. So the family members will contact me and say, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening to my mum. I don't know what's happening to my brother. I don't know what's happening to, they're just not the same. There's something wrong with them. So I am very aware of that energy, and I'm very aware of what it looks like. I can see it around people, I can see it within them, and I can see it in their eyes. And I can clearly tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the mainstream, everything that you watch on TV, I would say 90% are of that energetic field of takeover, and they don't know it. And they may seem normal, they may seem as if they know what they're talking about, but unfortunately they've been taken over. And this needs to come out now, because if not, we're going to see more insanity being spoken, and you're going to end up believing insanity when you know deep down that what they're saying is completely a lie, it's a manipulation, it's wrong, and it's almost like something's taken over these people, and they're trying to send that very same energy to people so that they become hypnotized and taken over too. Many people can see it now, and I do know some people are sending me messages saying, how can this be? How can people talk like this and nobody see? I hope today I've answered that question for you. I hope there's a little bit of relief in this. And I guess what I'm hoping that people start to bring this out to the forefront, and that the whole reason why I make this video is because I truly, honestly believe in my heart of hearts that we've always been in a spiritual battle, but this is right now probably the most biggest, widest, global spiritual battle of a takeover for darkness and for entities that is happening right now. And I think the only way we can win this battle is for awareness. Now, I know you're aware, but if this video helps a little bit, that you can put it out there, not this video, but you can share that if this does make sense to you. If anybody wants to ask me a question underneath here, fire away. I have nothing to hide. I can tell you things that I know, and I can say I don't know, but what I do know is for a fact, this is definitely something that has always been there, but I notice now has been more heightened, and it is more obvious that this dark energy is weaving its way into people as fast as I have never seen it this fast. I have never seen it this powerful, and therefore we need to call it out for what it is. So I say we call them the lost ones, the takeovers, the hosts, psychic attack, whatever it is. We need to now address this and point it out in any way we can, so then we can now help the world see that we are not mad, and these people, there is something extremely wrong with them, and that they need to be pointed out, so we can then say, now we can see why they're like that, and this is why they're doing, saying and behaving like they are, because they're taken over. So they are the takeovers. They really have been taken over. So that's it, guys. That's my message today. It's a little bit of a crazy one, but it's one that needs to be addressed, because if not, then this madness, this phenomena will continue and grow until, of course, everybody will be in the same energetic field, and then darkness will have won, per se. On a final note, darkness never wins. In the end, there's always light. But surely, if we talk about it and we expose it and we shine the light over the darkness, then that is the way to win this spiritual war. And that's why I make this video today. Ultimately, light always wins. And I believe in you, and I hope you have an open enough mind to listen to what I'm saying, and to know that what I'm saying is real truth, not spoken from other people's words, but it is my reality of a healer and my experience with clients over the years from all fields of work, whether it's A-listers, whether it's TV hosts, presenters of radio, mums, dads, scientists, doctors. I've read for them and healed them all. So I have experience in that. So I have no issue with anybody wanting to talk to me about it. If anybody wants to interview me and go more deeper into this detail, I have no issue with that. I am happy to talk about it because I have nothing to hide and I have nothing to prove. Therefore, I make this video under duress because I could lose this channel by talking about this. If I put this on my mainstream channel, there's a chance that this gets taken down with all my thousands of videos, or at least 12 or 13 or 1400 videos. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to lose all that? Why would I want to sacrifice that? Do I make any money from this? Not at all. In fact, I actually lose. I actually lose more clients, and it's detrimental to my business. So ask yourself, why would I do it? I have nothing in this. I'm not shares in any bottles that is pumped into trillions of millions of people every day. I have no shares in anything in that. All I do is work on crystals and sell them, and oils and incense. This video's got nothing to do with oils and incense, so why is he talking like this? So the Occam's razor is that the only explanation is the logical one, is the one which says he's doing it because he means it. And he really does believe that there's something happening with these people who are losing their soul. They're being hijacked. They're being taken over. And we need to get this phenomena out there. We need to tell the world we are in a spiritual battle and they need healing. They need healing. How? Who knows? I don't know how. All I know is that if I am there to heal somebody who is in that state, within an hour or 2 hours, they're back to themselves and they cry and they give me a hug and they send me messages saying, I can't believe what happened to me. It feels like a daze. It feels like I didn't exist. I mean, I could go into detail for hours and hours and hours, no problem. Why? Because I have the experience and I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to answer your questions. But this needs to get out. This phenomenon needs to get out. We need to tell people. People need to recognize why these souls are speaking backwards. Why is it double talk? Why is it, it's madness, and it's madness for a reason, because madness is within them. Evil, darkness, manipulation is within them and taken over them. And that's the truth. It really is a hard and very, very challenging subject because these people just don't realize. Have a beautiful day, guys. Take care.